Shauna here from Dancing Raven Studio. Welcome to the bonus video for Acrylic Painting 101 Basics for Beginners. This video is a result of a question that was asked at the bottom of another video. Thank you, Sassy Cat, for asking the question. And the question she had was, do I do complementary color charts or add black to my colors in chart form? Previously, when I taught this class, I have taught it with complementary color charts. But since I've learned about chroma and how to create it, I switched that lesson to a chroma chart because I think that's an important lesson to have. But I still thought I should add in a complementary version of this chart. In the past, I've taught where, we have yellow, we go to Dioxazine Purple, that's Cadmium Yellow Light, and we do the white down, just like we've done with the other charts. So I didn't show you how to do this. I will assume that you're going to be able to do that. But what I've demoed in this video is how to make the chroma version of it, so that we have our pure chroma up at the top, and then we're bringing it down and neutralizing it with the gray, taking in all of the information we've done so far and creating a chart. And you can see that it even has more square, it has one more row of squares, so they're smaller. You can get your handout at my website. So let's grab our paint stuff and let's get going. Here's how I did a traditional complementary color chart with Cadmium Yellow Light, 2 Dioxazine Purple. And I would do it across, and then I would add white as I went down. The charts that we're going to do today are chroma charts. They're very different from this kind of chart, though we will do a comparison. If you stick to the end, I will show you a range of yellows and purples with both chroma charts and value charts. I made this square a little smaller. You can go over to my blog and get a hold of the download that tells you the measurements. You'll need your value scale. You'll need your palette paper. We're going to put on Cadmium Yellow Light and Dioxazine Purple. We're going to use our value checker to confirm our values as we go along here. So adding very little purple. Yellow is such an easily tinted color that you need to be very careful or else you'd go over fairly quickly. So checking both of those, you can see that it needs to be a little bit lighter on there, and I'll add some more yellow. And now move it over, and now I'm going to create value 7. And along the way, I'm going to continue to add little bits by little bits because it's easier to manage if you do that. And I noticed that it needed to be a little bit lighter. Add some more, and we're going to value 6. And I check on both of them. One is the paint that I get, the neutral gray paint from Golden, that I make the little strips. And then I check on the value checker that I have. That information is also on my blog, but also will be down below in the video description, so you can get your own. Continue on to work on our values across. So we're on probably value 4. Value 3. Needed some more yellow, so we'll get that in there. And going to value 2. So Dioxazine Purple straight out of the tube is value 1. I took one away because I realized I had one too many in there, and then the pure. So now I'm going to add that neutral gray value scale on the bottom. Because we're making a chroma chart, not a value chart, I'm going to do that. And you can get the information for how to make the neutral gray by going to lesson 8 in this series. The link is below for lesson 8 as well, so you can find it quickly. So I'm just going to add in some of the neutralizing gray to the pure cadmium yellow light. You'll notice that when I'm doing my palette knife, I'm pushing it together, I'm taking a little bit, pushing it down, squishing it together, and then adding just the last one with just the gray. And I'll go up because I often find that I don't bring the chroma down enough, and so it's just helpful to go back up the series of them. When I start to put them on the chart, I always start from the bottom. Then I clean my brush off in between and I take the next colors. So I started off slowly here so you can see how I'm working. I will speed it up or else we'll be here for about 45 minutes. I happen to like doing charts, and I think I've said that on other videos. I actually find it very restful and interesting and fun to play with the magic of painting. To me, the magic of painting is mixing colors. And here we go. We're going to speed this up a whole lot more. So we're on value 7. What is the difference between a chroma chart and a value chart? A chroma chart, we're using a neutralized gray of the same value as the paint that we're altering to create various intensities of colors or various saturations of colors or various chromas of colors. Those are 3 different words we can use to describe the change that we're creating by adding a neutralized gray into a color to lower the chroma, the saturation, or the intensity. Each time you add gray, it's the same color, but it has become more neutralized and sometimes a much more interesting color to work with. Working with really intense colors, I mean, there are some painters who do that, but I often find in all of my nature paintings that my chroma that I'm working on is between 2 and 4. Unless I'm doing flowers, which are brighter chroma objects, most are quite down low in the chroma range. Understanding this is very helpful. When I do a value chart, I'm adding white, which means the yellow becomes lighter and lighter and lighter and more pastel. Each of the colors, you can see them in a different way than you see them this way. These are all the same values with more gray put into it. Doing each of these kind of charts can be very helpful when you're first starting painting. And even 10 years into it, I'm still finding that I'm learning a lot by doing charts. For getting prepared for these videos, it's been really informative. It's allowed me to make time to do these charts when my work is very busy. Once we get into the really dark values, it becomes harder and harder to see those subtle nuances. We are on value 2, and I think we just have one more to do here. And that is the pure Dioxazine Purple. So even though it's very dark and I'm adding more gray into it, the purple is becoming less intense. I don't often work in value 1. In fact, most often I go to like value 3. I don't tend to even go into value 2 very often because I just find it so dark and intense. Here what we're going to do is look at the difference between a value chart and a chroma chart. So the first one on the left that I'm pointing at now is a value chart, of Cad Yellow Light and Dioxazine Purple. And I have added white to change the value down the chart. And the second one is the Chroma Chart. I was more particular across the Chroma Chart to match the values. This is Cadmium Yellow Medium with Dioxazine Purple, always the same purple, different yellows. So we start at value 8 and I'm going across, and again this is a value chart, so I have added white to bring the colors lighter. And it's very interesting. It doesn't neutralize the colors, they're still quite intense. Now we go into the Chroma Chart and you can see the difference in there. And the last set that we're looking at here is yellow ochre with Dioxazine Purple. So yellow ochre starts at value 6. We're not getting a lot of range. So we got the value chart and we have the Chroma Chart. But if you're going from value 6 to value 1, you don't have a wide range. So I was dropping it by half value steps. So here we are with all these beautiful colors and how different each chart looks. Even though the purple is exactly the same in each one, it's amazing how just switching the yellow can change the colors that you're creating in your charts. To receive the handout for each of the lessons, head on over to my website, dancingravenstudio.ca. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next art video.